Night, a candlelight vigil held for the victims of that mass shooting in Fort Pierce last night. 11 people, we now have learned, were injured, and a woman was killed when someone opened fire after a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day parade. So far, no arrests have been made. That shooting taking place over at Ellis Park. It's located next to the Lincoln Park Community Center just off Avenue M. The woman who died had arrived there with her 6-year-old daughter in tow in what authorities now believe was motivated by a shootout between rival gangs. CBS 12's Lulie Ortiz is in Fort Pierce tonight with the latest on the investigation and what families are saying. Lulie?
Well, everybody knows she was a good person. She didn't deserve what happened.
Grieving mother Nikkitia Bryant is now planning the unthinkable, making funeral arrangements for her daughter, 29-year-old Nikkitia Bryant. Bryant, who is being described as a loving mother and a talented hairdresser who was full of life, was one of the many innocent people caught in the crossfire in Fort Pierce Ellis Park shooting Monday night. She passed away from her injuries.
She had just left me.
Her mom says Bryant went to the event to get food on a day to commemorate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with 3 children, including her 9-year-old daughter, when a peaceful event took a tragic turn. 7 others were shot during the gun violence between 2 rival gangs.
She was protecting her daughter from the gunfire and she got hit.
She was a good mom, a great mom. Anybody that knows Keisha knows that Deja is her world. And everybody knows that there's no Deja without Keisha, no Keisha without Deja. So it's going to be hard for Deja, but we all got her.
In this time of heartache and pain, they take a moment to call for justice.
This needs to stop. All the shooting and killing. She was an innocent bystander. She was just enjoying herself.
If anybody's out there that's worried about their safety from this event, is there any assurance that you can give them and us?
The tragedy and the murder investigation was discussed during a city commission meeting tonight, highlighting the growing fear in the community as the gang violence appears to be far from over.
If people come forward, we have mechanisms in place to protect those people.
And that fear also impacting the tiniest residents in the city, children.
Some children, we may not see the effects of this for a few days. It could be a few weeks.
Dr. Angela Brathwaite with the Fort Pierce Police Department has since teamed up with the school district, stopping by an elementary school to lend a helping hand and answer questions students had surrounding their safety.
To let them know that they are loved, that the community cares about them, and that their feelings are valid.
Her message to families:
make sure that we are watching our children, that we're monitoring them, because we really don't know if and when there will be any long-term lasting effects based on this event.
Well, right now, local law enforcement is working with state and federal agencies on this case. A hotline has been set up for any information about this shooting or suspects. You can find that number with this story on our website, cbs12.com.
Shit don't make no sense. I knew when that motorcycle. I'm on the side.
Turning now to the crisis in the classroom, alarming allegations tonight against a Port St. Lucie preschool. A teacher accused of abusing children she was supposed to be taking care of.
CBS 12's Al Peffley joins us outside Chesterbrook Academy preschool with what parents say happened and the investigation now underway. Al?
Jim, within the past hour, Port St. Lucie police released a statement saying their detectives are actively investigating an allegation of child abuse reported to law enforcement by DCF. And police say the alleged incident happened here at the Chesterbrook Academy preschool about a month ago.
We want
want the teachers removed from the classroom.
Protesters with signs showed up outside Chesterbrook Academy Preschool in Port St. Lucie. They held signs with captions such as "Teachers not reporting abuse" and "Two teachers saw something and said nothing."
These kids don't have a voice. We need to be their voice for them.
Two relatives of a 2-year-old boy say last Friday a teacher at the preschool slapped the 2-year-old boy on the playground and she was fired. According to the boy's grandfather, 2 teachers say they witnessed the same teacher hold the boy's head under running water under a faucet last month to stop him from crying, but they did not report that incident to their supervisor at the time.
2 of them are in there and they just let it happen. So they failed my son. You have to say something, see something, say something, and they didn't say anything for a month. All this could have been prevented.
Port St. Lucie police are investigating and say they responded to Chesterbrook Academy Preschool this morning after being informed by the Florida Department of Children and Families of an incident involving a teacher and a child.
The other 2 teachers are not being held accountable when it is against the law to see abuse as a child care provider and not say anything.
And Jamie Melnick, the principal here at Chesterbrook Academy, declined my request for an on-camera interview. However, later this afternoon, Chesterbrook Academy did send us a written statement saying in part, quote, "We take employee misconduct very seriously and we have zero tolerance for anyone who does not have children's best interests at heart. It is disheartening to think that anyone could ever mistreat young children under any circumstance. We are grateful that no injuries occurred during these incidents, and we will continue to cooperate with appropriate authorities."